All right, you guys, we're going to welcome your families and our special guests. So please be silent as they enter. Ready? Good morning, parents. We're asking that you please fill up every seat and do not leave an empty seat next to you, please. We have other classes coming down. Please fill in every seat. Do not skip a seat. Padres, estamos preguntando que por favor usen todos los asientos y no dejen ningunos vacíos. we're getting started. Welcome you guys to Leadership Day 1, Part 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 2 of our Leadership Day 1. Once again, our theme today is for the love of reading. To kick off this part of the event, we're going to warm up with some calm, reflecting, mindful meditation. what a great performance. Now please help me welcome our first senior Lighthouse team speaker, Amy Grulon. Let's give it up for Amy.
Thank you for that introduction, host. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for coming to this wonderful celebration of reading. My name is Amy, and I'd like to share a little bit about what reading means to me and how I came to love reading in my own life. First, reading means the world to me, and that takes us from word to word, page to page, and chapter to chapter. Along the way, the voice you might be hearing inside your head while you read, the words is painting a picture of the story being told. It unlocks your imagination. Reading to me is kind of like traveling in your head, using the words on the page in your imagination. When you're traveling somewhere in real life, in a car, a train, a plane, or even a boat, you can feel the movement physically. But when you read, you can also feel it in your mind. Reading a good book or story is like having a really good meal because that satisfaction stays with you a while. Except with reading, you can never be too full to want to have more. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about the book that made me fall in love with reading. That book is a series called The Dork Diaries. This series of books is about a wacky girl, Nikki. It's about a girl, Nikki, and her friends going on all kinds of wacky adventures. No matter the problems that Nikki gets herself into or because of her rival, Mackenzie, she always finds a solution to the problem and figures a way out of it. I fell in love with these stories because of the sense of adventure and silliness that Nikki and her friends would encounter. It's just so interesting. I only discovered Dork Diaries because a lot of girls at my school would talk about it, and it got me interested enough to check them out for myself. The rest is history, and I caught the reading bug because of it. Oh my God. Some of you might have not noticed, but I just described how reading can inspire and connect people, similar to how you can catch a cold or an illness from someone. Reading is infectious and contagious. The love of reading spreads from person to person all around you, through friends, family members, and teachers all recommending a book they've read about or heard about. It goes on and on all over the world in a cycle, all driven by the power of the love of reading. So get out there and infect someone with the reading bug. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of Leadership Day 1.
Don't turn it off. Okay? I'll just hold it. No more touching it.
You are now the king, and you will make truly free.
Okay, before I start reading the story, I thought it was really important to share why I love reading and why I think it's important. So, one thing that I noticed that a lot of you were surprised about that I shared at the booths earlier, I shared that it took me 3 years to write this book. And I want to tell you why it took me 3 years. When you're writing a story, it's really important to get your ideas from other good ideas. So one of the ways that I found inspiration is by reading some of my favorite stories. Another thing that was really helpful was talking with other writers. So every time I spoke with another writer, they would say, oh, you have to read this book. This book is so essential if you want to write a really good story. And so over the course of 3 years, I realized I read over 100 books. And I don't think that I could have written this book without reading all of those books. So that's why reading's really important to me. So whenever you're ready and it's super duper silent, I want to see if we can get PS1X to be the most silent. I visited a lot of schools so far, but I want to see how silent you can get. It's pretty good. That side's doing it pretty good. This side? I think we're ready. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to balance the microphone and the book at the same time. We're going to be really creative. Thumbs up if you think I can be creative right now. Do you mind? Okay, thank you. I'm going to try not to spit in your face. The story is called Good Things. And I know you can't see all of the pictures, I'm sorry, but I promise you at the end of the story, at the end of the day, if you want to come up and see the book, you can come see it. The story is called Good Things. And it's dedicated to my grandmother, Sandy. Pops, I can see it. There's a new one coming in. Hey, didn't I tell you Lil Mama would do her thing? Let me check her out, Pops hollered back. Here, you'll be wanting this, said Nana. The misting bottle, liquid gold. When it's their turn, they bow their leaves and they receive all of its glory. A quick mist here and there would get us to the promised land. Fenestrations. Fenestrations are those holes in the leaves that made Big Mon who she was inside, a monstera. Since the day that Pops brought Big Mon home, Malcolm decided that the first leaf with holes would be crowned the queen leaf. Raise your hand if you have plants in your house. Ooh, a lot of plant lovers. Nice.
Good?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. There we go. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Let's try that silence thing one more time. Let's see if we can get even more quiet than we were before. Amazing. Okay. Pops was also looking for variegation, a stripe, a speckle, or a splash of white in those leaves. He'd say, man, do you know how rare it is for a plant to have that, Malcolm? But these days, Malcolm's plant journey was looking a bit different from Pop's. Nothing from Percy yet, he sighed above his plant, who hadn't put any more leaves out. And Pop said what he always said, good things take time. Now, Pops was full of sayings for any and everything, and the boys on the block knew all too well. Now, sometimes it was a compliment. Man, I'm trying to get like you, my brother. Or sometimes he just didn't have time. I can't be out here playing with y'all today. And other times, it was for support. You only fail when you stop trying. Now go get 'em. But good things take time was his favorite saying. He'd say it the most on Sundays while caring for the plants. A little water for Big Mon, a little mist for Percy, but Pops was still looking for that variegation, a stripe, a speckle, or a splash of white color on the leaves. And then one day, They all became Malcolms. Allie, Percy, and Big Mon. He knew all of the plants would become his one day. He just didn't think it would be so soon. Malcolm felt like he was underwater, trying to come up for air. He could feel it in his eyes, like when pool water leaks into your goggles. He couldn't believe that Pops was gone, but he knew he had to keep going. He'd check in on those plants every single day, sometimes even twice a day, under their stems, above their leaves, and everywhere in between. So he started to give Big Mon some extra love every single Sunday. He'd give it a sip of water, a bit of mist, a tiny bit of pruning, and maybe a tad more of all three. But it wouldn't stop. Those brown spots on the leaves, the drooping leaves, they just kept spreading. And so he even tried giving the plant more sun. Those extra rays would definitely do the trick. But Malcolm's frustration was the only thing that seemed to grow. And suddenly, Malcolm felt like he was back at the bottom of the pool. "I miss him too," he whispered to Big Mon. He tried everything, so he decided to do nothing. "Malcolm, honey, it's Sunday," Nana said. "Your plant ain't gonna water herself now, is she?" "She's not mine," Malcolm uttered. "She's Pop's plant." "I see. Well, you know, these days I've been having to remind myself." "Good things take time," Nana said. But Malcolm didn't have time. She's too far gone, he thought. Now, over the summer, he began spending more time with Nana and the boys on the block and his best friend, Desiree. And every now and then, he gave Big Mon some water and a little bit of love, but he remembered to soak up some love for himself, too. "Malcolm, that new leaf coming in is wild. Too bad it's all ripped," said Desiree. "What new leaf?" Malcolm responded. And that's when he saw it. It wasn't just a good thing. It was the best thing. It just took a little bit of time. I know it's hard to see the photos, but at the end of the story, he discovers a brand new leaf on his plant, and it has a speckle and a splash of white, which means that the plant is super duper healthy. Thank you so much, PS1X. Oh, you're gonna keep it on there? Good luck.
Thanks again. Thanks again to Miss Green for coming today and reading her book with such an important message. Coming to the stage now is the PS1 drum team performing Raising the Bars.
Shadows on the wall, noises down the hall. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud, big ghosts in a cloud. That doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old mother goose, lions on the loose. They don't frighten me at all. Dragons breathing flame on my counterpane. That doesn't frighten me at all. I go boom, make them shoot. I make fun, way they run. I won't cry, so they smile. Just smile and they go wild. That doesn't frighten me at all. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Tough guys in the sun, all alone tonight. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Pandas in the front, strangers in the sky. That doesn't frighten me. That doesn't frighten me. Life doesn't frighten me at all.
Thank you, Class 401. Next up is our second senior lighthouse team speaker, Ethan Austin. Let's give it up for Ethan. Hi everyone, my name is Ethan and I hope you all have a really good day once so far. Earlier we heard my friend Amy about what people use to live. And I'd like to take a minute to say, what freedom represents to me is a represents to me is the idea of sharing, connecting, and helping. There's no feeling like joy. I get from sharing a good book or story with a friend or helping someone I know who has been struggling with reading. That's actually one of the things I hope we can start doing here at PS1. I want to have the strong leaders in the upper grades get the chance to visit the lower grades and read some stories like some of the ones that have been shared today. These stories being shared have helped us all a little bit in some way, whether we realize it or not. By sharing stories, we can help others in ways we cannot possibly
experiencing an event or those stories not limited to just those who write them, but many others have likely felt the same way or had similar experiences in their lives. Life is also much harder if you can't read.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. We have a speaker up here who worked very hard on this speech, and I would very much appreciate, and so would he, if we please kept the volume down. He's trying very hard. He broke his glasses this week, and he's having trouble seeing. So please stay silent for him. Thank you.
Life is also much harder if you can't read. And it's so much more fun when you can, because countless worlds and opportunities await you at your fingertips. One of those worlds was actually the reason I fell in love with reading. And I think it was the same for many people all over the world. And that is Harry Potter series of books. The fantasy and fun that those books offered to me was truly life-changing. I was immediately hooked and couldn't get enough of the spell, classes, characters, adventures, and wonders. It also helped that it was a group of kids in school, so I could easily relate the characters in that way and place myself within the story. That's part of the connection I talked about earlier. Connecting to the story was key when it comes to feeling in love with reading. And then that love spreads to a connection with everyone else who has read that story. I think people can forget how big this book series was, but people would wait online outside the bookstore all over the world on the night it came out. That's the power of reading. Be strong to share your stories, help someone find their and connect with others through the love of reading. Thank you and have a great day.
this year. And August 4th is very important to me. It's a day that will resonate with me for the rest of my life. That was the day our superintendent, Dr. Padilla, walked me into the school, introduced me to the parents of the community, my amazing assistant principal, and I met two parents that day, Candace and Amy. The first thing that they told me was, PS1 is a lighthouse school. PS1 is the leader in each school, and we would love to work with you. ICE is a representation of all the talks that I've had with parents, teachers, and students. ICE is our core value that incorporates leader in me, that incorporates what we wish for our students. We want inspirational instruction. We want a collaborating community, and we are here to act with empathy. And our fifth graders have said it best, because they said, Mr. Rivera, empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy is about being sorry and feeling sorry. Empathy is about wanting to work and wanting to get better. We are here to work to get better. That's what ICE is about. And in our symbols, it's ICE to the third power. And those of you that study math or are mathematicians know that when you take anything to the third power, you cube it. So ICE to the third power is ice cubes. We're talking about working with school, family, and the after-school program. I want to thank you first for helping us turn the school around. Our kids are learning from 7:30 in the morning, from breakfast at 7:30 in the morning, to the after-school program at 5:30. And they're here learning throughout the day, and that's perfect. Leadership Day is all about letting the leader in me come forth. Our students have shown me that they're ready to take on the world. Our job is to support them, and that's what we're going to do. A school that has high expectations allows its students to do 80% of the talking. I think we've shown you today we have very high expectations for our students. Our students led, we guided, and someday we will follow. Thank you, parents, for allowing your kids to come here.